Namaskaram. This is going to be the critical video or important video, especially for the people who are in their 30s. Avoid these 5 financial mistakes in your 30s. Yes, for no reason, do not commit these mistakes. Okay? Because it will spoil your next 20 years. It will spoil your next 20 years. I may even sound negative on these items, but take it seriously. Take it seriously. Number one, don't commit the mistake of constructing or buying a house which you can't afford. It means, which you can't afford means, obviously it's not with your own money, you would have borrowed. If it is a house which you can't afford, then don't go to that level. What do I mean by saying you can't afford? Let's say for this house you take a loan and for that you have EMI per month, okay, every month. If that EMI is going to take away chunk of your cash flows, okay, let's say EMI is going to take 50 to 60% of your cash flows, then that's going to have significant impact on all your other expenses. It will have impact on your lifestyle. Okay, many other things which you have to do compulsorily will get affected if it's going to be of this size. Okay, so when I say it's a house you can't afford, it means you have to go for a loan. Yes, going for loan is fine because you are going to get tax exemption, then you can get your dream fulfilled, everything is fine, but see to that whether it is within your affordability. When I say affordability, your loan EMI, monthly EMI should be within 20 to 30 percentage of your monthly cash flows. That's all. If it is going to be beyond that, okay, say something like 50 to 60%, then it means you can't afford that. Don't commit that mistake. You will get into sleepless nights in that house. Okay, so don't go for house you can't afford. Rather build a house or construct a house which you can afford, or the other option is you can wait for some more time. So in the meantime you can build a corpus. You can build a corpus and you can reduce the loan amount in future and you will have a really manageable EMI. Okay, that's mistake number one. Don't commit this. Mistake number two, don't go for a car which you can't afford. Again, when I say you can't afford, it means you are going for a loan, and if loan amount is significant, if EMI is significant, and if that is taking a major portion of your cash disposal, it means it's going to have impact on all your other expenses, critical expenses. Okay, so don't go for the car you can't afford. What you can do is you can either start with a small budget or you can wait for some more time so that you can again build a corpus and you can use that corpus for acquiring a vehicle. In that case, you will not have EMI, because please understand one thing, car is an asset which is depreciable in nature. Car is an asset which is depreciable in nature. The very same day or the next day, if you try to sell the purchased car, there will be a significant drop in value of the car, at least by 10 to 15%. If you purchase a car for 10 lakh, next day you cannot sell it for 10 lakhs. It will be lesser than that. Okay, so it's going to depreciate in value. So don't go for something which you can't afford. You can start small, then using this corpus you can come back. Don't get into that trap which many people in 30s will do. Don't get into that trap. Number three is not starting investment. Yes, in 30s many are focused on taking loan after loan. They carry the belief that they are acquiring assets. They carry the belief that they have house as an asset. They carry the belief that they have car as an asset. But on the other side, they have home loans, they have car loan, and it means they have not created assets, rather they have created liabilities. because these assets are not earning anything. House, it is not earning anything. Car, it is not earning anything. Rather, you pay on this. On the home loan, you pay interest. On the car loan, you pay interest. Then you have to repay your principal also. It means you have not created assets, you have not invested. See, many will say house is an investment. House is an investment if it is yielding rental income for you. House is an investment if it is yielding a rental income for you. When it is a self-occupied house, what comes into picture is only that emotional satisfaction, that's all. Because if you live in a rented house, you may be paying a rent of 20 to 30,000 maximum, but for living in your own house, for that equivalent house, you may have to pay EMI of 50 to 60,000 at least. It means it's not an investment, rather it's a liability you have created for your emotional satisfaction only. But yes, in our Indian society, having own house is of great importance. So for that reason, we cannot avoid, but don't get into this. Don't get into this trap. Okay. So I was just talking about this, not starting investment, because these are all not investments. House is not an investment. Car is not an investment. Then what is investment? Investment is something which is going to give you return. That return may be in the form of interest. That return may be in the form of dividend. And it should also give you capital appreciation. That is, when you sell that investment, it should give you something more than what you have initially paid for. So investing in real estate, investing in gold, all those we can call as investment if they are giving us a regular return. We can call them as investment if they are, I repeat, if they are appreciating in value. On the other side, if they are depreciating, then that is also not an investment. If the value of the gold is reducing, it's not an investment. If the value of real estate, if it is reducing, that is also not an investment. So you have to have a clear investment plan. Okay. Investment can also happen in stocks, securities, and when you invest, always you should have a long-term horizon. Okay. If you are going to invest today and if you want to take it next week, that's not investment, that's speculation. That will not take you anywhere. Okay, that will not take you anywhere. So you should start investment at the earliest. You are in 30s. Even a 1 year delay in starting your investment will cost you heavily. Let's say you need some corpus at the 60th year. And if you are going to start with a delay of 1 year, then the amount what you have to set aside every year will be much, much higher. Let's say, for example, for a corpus of 1 crore, let's say you start at a age of 30 and someone starts at the age of 35, the amount what have to be set aside every month will be substantially different. Okay. So don't commit the mistake of not starting your investment. Start it at the earliest. Start now. Fourth one is no emergency budget. Most of the people in 30s, they'll not have emergency budget because they are in tight work schedule, like Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. Then they spend most of their time and money on Saturdays and Sundays in parties, refreshment, everything. So whatever they earn, a substantial portion gets consumed or gets lost in those 2 days. Okay. And so they always run on a thin margin. And if all of a sudden, if anything hits, like even the present COVID, then their normal lifestyle will go for a toss. Okay. So all should have an emergency budget which should be at least equal to 6 months expenses. This emergency budget should be at least equal to 6 months expenses. If you don't have emergency budget, then in rainy days it will be really tough. We may even be forced to borrow from friends. It will make life really miserable. Okay. Then number 5 is not having medical insurance. Please don't commit this mistake, especially when you are in 30s, because you may need medical emergencies for your parents. You may need funds for your kids' medical emergencies. And if you are not planning for this, it is possible that your significant savings can get wiped out. If you are not planning for this, I mean, if you are not taking medical insurance, your significant amount of saving, it's possible that sometime it will even get eroded. Okay, so don't commit that mistake, because you may be requiring medical funding for your parents, for your kids, and all these will come at a time we don't expect. Okay, so in that context, don't commit this mistake. So basically these 5 mistakes, see to that you don't commit any of this.